Welcome back to the Tul World podcast. I'm your host, David Ju, and I'm here with Master Ju.
As usual, Mr. Ju. How's it going?
As usual.
As usual.
So I think this time you came up with the topic.
Yeah, I did.
You're the one talking to all the masters. You're the one coming across this situation the most.
Yeah, it's. I think it's valid for any instructor or even students, I think, right? And that question is, what's it take to go to the next rank? Well, let's start with you. What do you think?
Are we talking about color belts or are we talking about
I think
black
all
belts?
in general. What does it take to be in the next rank?
Well, I personally think that anybody can be a black belt.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You could have limitations and we can still make it there. Because I always think black belt's kind of about that journey, about that perseverance, the tenacity. But I think once you start getting into the higher ranks, probably like 3rd Dan, 4th Dan, 5th Dan, now we're looking at how are we helping out Taekwondo.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that when you're going through the ranks, you're not really thinking much about Taekwondo and the way of life. Taekwondo, that's so cliche-ish. You get that all the time.
Yeah.
That always comes from black belts. I think color belts are just learning basically kicking, punching, just learning sparring patterns. And that's a lot to learn. It's a lot of foundation. They don't even know if they want to do Taekwondo. They don't even know. All they know is like, oh, that'd be cool to be a blue belt. Or that'd be cool to be a black belt.
Right.
And, they want to know, how do I get there? Well, that's pretty easy. Especially you're like 7 years old, learn this, and this. And if you can accomplish that, then yeah, why not? You should be able to be that rank.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's all subjective too, because people are just different. Some people are able to jump, some people aren't. Some people are, they have issues. Maybe they're slightly handicapped. Maybe, they've been in injury where they can't kick, their legs don't function as quite right. Does that hold somebody back? I don't think it should hold somebody back in that way. I remember seeing a student, well, here's a good example, a student that didn't have any arms. Obviously, he didn't have quite the power.
Yeah.
Because you need the whole body to do that kind of power, but he had different attributes, right?
Yeah.
I remember someone had, we've had different students train, but someone that had that had to use like, I don't know what you call it, like canes, but they're like
on the arm.
On the arm, they're like what do you call it?
Crutches.
Crutches.
They're
Yeah,
like everyday crutches.
Everyday crutches.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were on their arm,
Yeah.
so they would block and they couldn't really walk correctly.
Yeah.
Obviously, they have limitations, right? They won't be able to do Taekwondo like a regular person. But I respect that individual a lot because, to go through that and push through it and not let them hold them back, that really defines who they are. And I don't think just because you can jump 10 feet up in the air means that you are more respected or not. I think people would respect someone like that, but that doesn't mean
Right.
anything really.
So what about when it comes down to like instructors? So we're talking 4th Dan, or how about masters when we're talking 7th Dan?
Well, yeah, that's different. I think it's a little bit different. And has it changed?
Oh yeah. Well, how's it changed? Because now we're having people that start Taekwondo at 7. Right now they're about, let's say, 35 now, right? So, and they're probably like 5th, 6th Dan, right?
Well, I'll just share kind of my experience, and that is going through the ranks and being double promoted. It's just based on the instructor. Oh yeah, he's good. He's that rank. He should be moving forward. It's just kind of that thing. And I think over time, when you look at that, it's a lot harder. You're almost in some ways, students are questioning instructors.
Yeah.
Right? And I have that all the time. We have that all the time. Well, Johnny is just as good as him. How come he's testing and he's not? Well, we just don't think he's quite ready. That's difficult to say.
Yeah.
Right? And especially if you're doing it for part of your income, right? To say yes or no,
Right.
or is it, I kind of need money, so I'm going to have testing or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And it becomes a commodity. If I pay, let's say, $2,000, can I have a black belt? No, not really. You shouldn't.
There's some courses out there that do that.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So
There
what
are
is the
courses
value
like
of a black belt?
Yeah, that's true. So for us, you've got to reach certain requirements. And it's a lot easier to go, if you make these requirements, then you should be this rank. Right? And people just need to know. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they should.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe everyone should be a doctor. Just because I paid $10,000, should I be a doctor?
No, well, you get weeded out in your classes.
You get weeded out. And, so should everyone be a 7th degree? Should everyone be a 4th degree? Those kind of things. And I kind of think probably not. Maybe a 4th degree, in my opinion, I think, yeah, it's almost like everyone can be a 1st degree. Well, I think any black belt could be a 4th degree because they have to have certain abilities to do that. And also, basically 4th degree is an instructor, so they should be teaching.
Yeah.
And those are some of my requirements at the studio. But when you look at it, maybe from the old days, it was more like instructor or maybe master, senior masters, maybe. Let's say General Che, right?
Okay.
I mean, I can't think for him, or even President Che. I can't think for him, but they might feel that person is more worthy of being that, and that's true. I think that too. I've got to be able to explain why this person should be and this person shouldn't be, and that's difficult because it's not always about you accomplish certain things. I mean, I did see sometimes, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, someone puts on a world championship, the next thing you know, they've been promoted to the next rank. That's a contribution, that's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's other things that individual has done as well.
Yeah.
Right? So we can't just say, if I put on a world championship, I'm going to be the next rank.
Yeah.
No. And why are people even asking to be next rank?
Yeah.
If you do what you're doing, I just think that
It will come.
it will come.
Right.
That's my opinion. I always say that to even color belts. Just come, work out. You just do that, and sure enough, you'll be that next rank.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it because if you're training, you'll learn those requirements, and you should be able to move forward.
Right.
But I think what you're talking about is something different.
Right. I'm
Right?
asking what if you're too young?
Well,
Like-
I think we never had age limits, but we're starting to put that on there
Yeah.
because, you can't really have a fourth dan that's 9 years old.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Even if they know how to do all the requirements, it's that mental training they have to have. It's a life experience. So when you think about like masters, right? What does that really mean, right? Can you be a 21-year-old? So you have to understand what master means because different organizations have different ideas of what master. Oh, you're a 4th degree, you're a master, but you could be 19 years old. But master of what? Master of a certain technique? Yeah, okay. You might have mastered that technique. You might have mastered,
Yeah.
that pattern. Yeah, I've mastered that.
That's a funny thought. Like Big Ten boards are master at a 4-fist punch.
Yeah, master of 4-fist punch, master of breaking 10
Yeah,
boards.
yeah.
So that's true. But when we think of it like a bigger picture of it being a master, you have to have more life experience.
Yeah.
You can't understand a child when you never even had kids, or
Yeah.
you haven't even trained with kids.
Right.
How can you be a master in that way?
Yeah.
Right? And so I kind of think master has to be able to share their experience, right? Their knowledge, and that only comes through time.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with how many boards you break or, how many schools you own. Obviously, you're going to learn a lot.
Yeah.
But because of those steps and all of those experience, you'll be able to share that with other people, your wisdom.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what makes us a master, what makes an individual a master. Not
Yeah.
because he's been around,
Yeah.
not just because he can jump 20 feet high or whatever, right? And I think it's different. I think it's different in the Asian culture and the Western culture. Because, and I think in the Western culture, it's more like buy and sell. I pay you this, I get this.
Yeah.
Kind of mentality in a way. Where in the Asian culture, it's more about family. I kind of think it's more about family. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, your parents. I don't want to say you want to treat them, all your children equally, right? But you might favor one versus the other, but there's a reason why you favor one versus the other. I don't know. I grew up in a kind of an Asian kind of a culture.
Yeah, in Utah.
Well, yeah, I was born in America, but I don't really fully understand it because I wasn't living in Asia.
Right, yeah.
But my mom and dad and my family are quite immigrated to the United States, so they brought a lot of that. You're one generation away from that.
Yeah.
And so your experience is only kind of what my experience is.
Yeah.
And it's more Western, right?
Right.
Although I try to bring that idea of family back. It's not the full effect, I think.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know.
Well, let us know your thoughts on, what does it take to be a master? What does it take to be an instructor?
I probably just got demoted.
Or maybe promoted.
No, definitely don't want that.
Don't forget to check out our Tul World Plus program where we go over different patterns and different techniques, and you can do that through our website. And don't forget to be safe.
Keep training.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Taekwon.